What's up, Facebook and soon-to-be YouTube and like YouTubers and whatnot,
and true believers,
and fellow geeks most of all. This is Two Geeks, and
there's two of us.
I'm
Two.
Anonymous, and this is Mask.
Jinx.
And today we're going to discuss another screwattack video, or kind of what set off.
Yes, the wonderful screw attack.
Screwattack is great. I love them.
Not squirrel attack. Screw.
And today we're going to be discussing Batman vs. Spider-Man.
By the way, I wore a Spider-Man mask in the previous episode. I wanted to switch it up a little bit.
If I don't switch up.
No.
So, he and I have always had ongoing discussions about who would win in a Marvel vs. DC combats. Alright, different scenarios, different people, obviously, different villains, heroes, and whatnots. Alright, and screwattack brought up a good point of Spider-Man versus Batman, which we've had controversy about before.
Not really, actually.
Yeah, we have.
For a very long time, I also believed it was Batman. Although Batman got fucked over. And I strongly agree, which is the reason why I'm supporting my hero.
And today is one of the days I'm actually at his original stance in saying that Batman would win. The reason I say this is because Batman is the ultimate strategist.
We should celebrate.
Why?
It's a rare occasion.
What?
Because you're like me. Okay, continue.
Batman is the ultimate strategist. He plans for everything. And in the screwattack video, they said, yes, given enough time, given time to prepare and stuff, Batman probably would have won and whatnot. But given with what he had, la 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 la. All right.
How can one of these get through webbing? Just saying.
All right, let's make that our first topic of discussion. All right, Batman's knives or batarangs. All right, batarangs, as we know, his famous weapon and his most used tool. Something not too many people know about the batarang is, Dylan, what are they tipped with?
They are tipped with diamond.
God damn, that super billionaire Bruce Wayne and all of his money into it.
Damn his money.
Yeah.
Tony Stark would be ashamed.
I actually know Stark Industries is bigger than Wayne Enterprises.
Does he have diamond-tipped armor? I do not think so.
Dude, he's Iron Man. He doesn't need diamond-tipped armor. Anyways.
I know.
So, it wasn't really shown in the video whether or not his batarangs could cut... Wait, was it shown in the video whether those batarangs could cut through?
Doesn't matter. He has explosive batarangs and all that.
Yeah. It is believed that, like, we are firm believers, or at least I am, that his batarangs could cut through Spider-Man's webbing, no problem whatsoever.
I'd like to put up a fact, though. I'm not going to count impact webbing, because that was used by Scarlet Spider, Spider-Man's clone. But Peter Parker, I don't think ever actually used impact webbing.
All right, and before we like start going into like who would win this, let's pick a Batman universe and a Spider-Man universe. So we go into Spider-Man Prime right before he was killed by Doc Ock.
Killed by Doc Ock. And yes, I am picking Spider-Man, Peter Parker himself, in his prime right before his untimely death by the hands of Doc Ock.
Not Ultimate or Amazing Spider-Man, just Spider-Man.
Oh, he is Amazing Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, sorry, the Amazing Spider-Man.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go read Amazing Spider-Man 700. Explains everything. Kinda.
So does Wikipedia. That's good.
Or Wikipedia.
Alright, and from the
For
Batman,
us
we are
poor
using...
people.
What Batman are we using? New 52? Or are we going to use right before New 52?
I'm going to say right before 52.
Because that's what we know most about, and because we haven't read a whole lot of New 52 yet.
Bruce Wayne, not Dick Grayson.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne, when he came back, obviously a lot more experienced. This Bruce Wayne is obviously a lot more experienced than the last Bruce Wayne, having going through time and fight in different scenarios with different types of weapons and stuff, and he's still coming out on top every time.
Plus, he can bench press, what was it, 1,000 pounds?
Bruce Wayne can bench press 1,000 pounds, yes.
Bench presses 1,000 pounds and can kick a tree in half.
Like a full-grown oak tree.
In half, people.
That shit's big.
In half.
Yes, so,
Broken.
The main decider, like, he believes that the main deciding factor of this fight is Spider-Man's Spidey sense, which Peter has gotten down pat. He can
Pinpoint accuracy, people.
The spider sense started off as an early warning system for Peter when danger was
buzzing.
When danger was approaching, and as Peter progressed in his Spider-Man years, his spider sense evolved into something more than just a little early warning system. He can use it to more or less as a radar to identify where the danger is coming from and when it's going to be there, even in total darkness, which is Batman's favorite form of attack. So Batman's coming from the side, his spider sense goes off and says, "Hey, he's
and
right
blocks
frickin'
it.
here." And just go, blocks, or wedge, whatever.
What are these gonna do? Nothing. Let's do a battering, people. Don't worry, it's rubber.
Speaking of which, we have 3 types of batterings today. To show you because
I'm wearing gloves.
Ow, that's sharp as hell.
I know.
All right. Battery
really
1
good.
is this rubber one that we got when we were making, and this just came with this, which is originally a Batman cowl that we were
Made by me.
that we modified. Or he modified. I'm currently wearing. I have my own at my house that he also modified for me. I did a little bit of modification on that one too. Second, we have these batarangs, which are just foam. Whoop.
They're foam.
They're foam. They're not. You can't throw them very far. We thought they'd be more fun. Those are for my 18th birthday. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
And then third is we have the Dark Knight Rises Batarang, full metal.
It's
Not
actually Batman Begins.
Whatever. Batman Begins Batarang, full metal, stainless steel. Not too bendy in the middle. It's actually very sturdy, just not around the edges. The edges are very sharp. It's one of the sharpest things he owns, and at the tips it's very flimsy.
It is the sharpest thing.
It is the sharpest thing he owns. Tips are very flimsy, so not for actual use, and he won't ever use them because he's afraid, obviously they'd probably break. The tips would at least. Just right
Very
there.
flimsy. But we're not here to talk about batarangs. We're here to talk about a fight between Spider-Man and Batman. Peter Parker versus Bruce Wayne. I don't have a third one.
Alright, first I want to list out is their mindsets and their experiences that led up to their mindset. And he's more of a Spider-Man guy than I am. He knows a lot more about Spider-Man than I do. He's more of an expert in this area of Spider-Man versus Bruce Wayne than I am, but I know enough about Bruce Wayne. And
I'm not an expert though, people. I may get some stuff wrong. I'm not perfect.
Nobody is.
I'm as close as you can get though.
So, tell me, what is Peter Parker's mindset right now? What's his give us Peter Parker from a psychological standpoint. How stable, whether or not he's stable, what his morals are and such.
He actually is stable for a guy who runs around with tights,
Runs around in tights, yeah.
shooting webs. But he's more stable than Batman, because Batman was traumatized as a young child, while Peter Parker was traumatized as a teenager. Thus, he was more mature to realize what was happening. While when Bruce Wayne was traumatized, he was at a very fragile age, which scarred him for the rest of his life, giving us a big badass man.
I think Peter Parker was at a fairly fragile age. I mean, being a teenager, being
He
a
was
hormonal
15 years old.
Peter, yeah, that's
Bruce
still,
Wayne was at 6.
I think he was
6.
10.
6 or 7.
I think he was 10.
Tell us in the comments if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Which we most likely will be.
Because I'm sure there's more than one Batman or Spider-Man expert out there. Peter was 15 when this happened to him. I mean, he's in high school. He's a teenager. He's got hormones.
He was a junior, if I believe. A junior in high school.
Junior in high school, and I mean to watch it immediately after he got angry.
He did not actually watch Uncle Ben die, though. Bruce Wayne watched his parents die.
All right, another fair point given. The movies are wrong. He did not sit there and hold Uncle Ben's hand as
Don't
he
get me
died.
wrong. Amazing Spider-Man is my favorite movie of all time. It is awesome-tacular. Sorry I stole that from Jeremy Johns, but it's true. But what were we talking about?
We were talking about their psychological.
I have Asperger's. Or psychological standpoint.
I think both of them were at very delicate ages where they both could have easily been traumatized. I think Peter handled his better than Bruce Wayne did.
Oh, much better.
Because I think Bruce, when that happened, he immediately got the mindset that I will gain revenge on my parents' killer, and I will train to be the best. I will train all over the world and whatnot. And
That is one scary 6-year-old.
Yeah, and at the age of 14, he was already he was trained in several various